Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So y'all already know we got to talk about this Knicks game on this channel, man. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Now, Joel Embiid was getting to the foul line a lot early in this game. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, a lot of the guys was hitting, but what I noticed was the Knicks had a different game plan. Jalen Brunson, when he comes off of that high pick and roll, he's more downhill. Whether he scores or not, he's got Embiid in an uncomfortable spot with the speed he's coming at. He's changing speeds at a good rate. When he gets in between, it's always a possibility that he can kill you from the mid range, and he's not probing as long when he comes off. He's doing it just enough to keep you honest, but he's not predictable by any means. And we look at OG Anunoby. That's what I thought was big in the first half. Him getting it at the top, coming off the curls, going downhill at Joel Embiid with his athleticism, and Joel Embiid not having his full ability to jump at this point. Not every time anyway, to give that effort. I thought that was brilliant. Even on the misses, I said I really like this strategy. And Isaiah Hartenstein got in a lot of foul trouble, but you had OG Ananobi really guard Embiid and fight for position late. Held him to 3 points, when guarded by him, and I think that was three free throws, and it really had him out of sorts. Dante DiVincenzo didn't have his best night, but stepped up and hit two huge threes when the game could have got away from the Knicks. And Josh Hart, I know a lot of people were upset with him for not making open shots early in the game, but you look at the ending stat line. He has 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 big blocks at the rim in that fourth quarter. So I just look at this team, and this is what happens when you don't go hunting for superstars. You have guys who pick each other up and they affect the game in different ways. This team picked Brunson up offensively in those first couple games. Brunson really had it going. Started to find himself a lot last game. Dropped, 38, 39 last game. And then, went even bigger to break a Knicks playoff record, with 47 points. 47. Jalen Brunson, man, this guy, I've been saying he's the best point guard in the NBA for a little bit. And people been coming, shooting back at me. I know, some people think Shea is a point guard. So if you got Shea as a point guard and that's how you view the game, I have no complaints there. Shea is balling out. But other than him, I mean, I don't see because Luka's not a point guard, he's a wing. Um, I don't see how people continue to discount Jalen Brunson. It don't even matter if you don't have him first. A lot of people drop him under Halliburton and those guys, and you just absolutely cannot do that with the way this guy's been playing. But Stephon Marbury broke down this game and the keys to success for the Knicks. And this is what he had to say. Let's check it out.
So I'm going to credit this game towards our 50-50 balls. We got all of the loose balls. We got the offensive rebounds. I think we had like 17 or 19 maybe. But our mind frame and our disposition throughout the whole game, it never wavered. We maintained focus throughout the whole game. Tibbs, amazing timeouts when you called the timeouts. You killed their runs. You stopped their momentum. JB, flat out, there's no guard right now in the NBA that can touch this. He's playing with a disposition. Him playing downhill and attacking, notice he has not turned his back. A couple of times, but within rhythm. Now he's playing downhill. He's attacking Embiid. He's not giving him any room to come up or fall back. So he's creating indecision for their bigs, for Embiid. Amazing game. Hart, big rebounds. McBride, everybody. OB, even Hartenstein. Like, everybody contributed in a big way. Like, this was a huge, huge win. Big win. The bench.
So Stephon Marbury is absolutely right. And that's what I was saying. The indecision with the bigs, when they get caught on Brunson Island, you don't know what he's going to do because he's been much more of a distributor. And let me say this, Isaiah's Hartenstein's consistency with that little floater in the paint, it starts to become too many easy points. So now you kind of playing the midpoint. You're not overcommitting to Brunson. Brunson is not taking difficult shots more than needed. And so now you really have to kind of play Hartenstein. You got to look at that and say, man, he'll make every floater in the paint as long as we leave him open. You know, that's his little shot. He's comfortable with that at home or on the road. So looking at that, it's like, okay, that has opened up. And Deuce McBride, there was a lot of questions when Emmanuel quickly left the team. So Deuce McBride, I like what he's able to bring to the team as far as like, you know, his scoring prowess. He steps up, knocks down big shots, can play with Brunson, has assumed some of the ball handling duties. And I think, you know, even though he may be turnover prone at times and may make some questionable decisions, I think he's handled those two roles so well in the departure of well, after the departure of Emmanuel Quickly. You know, he's been in the G League system, and you know, this is a player that the Knicks have really grown. They've grown him from being in and out the G League, playing some minutes for the Knicks. You know, early in his career, back and forth between the G League to now. He has a lot of responsibility, so he has a special spot in New York's Knicks fans' hearts because of the way he's kind of come up in the organization. We've seen him elevate as a player, and you know, this is his moment. You could see the process of him getting to this moment and now being a contributor. So I think he has a special place, you know, in New York Knicks fans' hearts. And I also like his ability to defend. His athleticism and his quickness allows him to stay with Maxey as good as anybody can stay with Maxey. Now, Maxey can still get to the rim. He's explosive, great offensive player. But Deuce is doing about the best you can do on a player like Maxey. I'm talking about when they playing the ones and you really got to slide your feet and it's just you as the only defender on them. Josh Hart, this is what I'm talking about. When people are so quick to try to trade for a Donovan Mitchell, you have to include players like Josh Hart. And tonight you would have been giving up those 17 much needed rebounds, momentum changing rebounds that kept the ball on their end just enough for them to grind it out and put their identity on the game to close this thing out. He wasn't hitting his open shots, but 17 boards, 5 assists, 3 blocks, a lot of them on Tobias Harris, Oubre, those guys at the rim. And that's just competing. You don't want to get rid of competing players like that, you know, just to go superstar hunting or go hunting for a guy that averages 20 something points a game because you give up all those other plays. And in the absence of Julius Randle, Hart's rebounding has been absolutely 1000% needed to this level. You know, and he gets double digits a lot. He's just beating people off of effort first to the floor. Those players are just as valuable as a lot of people that or a lot of players that individuals think are stars in the NBA. Those type of players to me, they're valuable in that way because you know you can maintain with a few injuries. You can put other people in where you do have some drop off, but also these guys are capable of more of a role, and the team identity stays intact. Next man up type mentality, and to do that you have to have players, you know, on team friendly contracts. OG's defense on Joel Embiid, I can't speak enough on it. It was kind of reminiscent. I don't know if y'all, well, I'm pretty sure most of y'all remember because this is the basketball channel, but when Kawhi switched on Giannis in that Eastern Conference series back when he was with Toronto, looking at OG switching on Joel Embiid, it kind of reminded me of that big physical, strong, athletic wing guy, you know, who don't give up no ground, but also has quick hands and can get up under a bigger player like that and make it very uncomfortable for him. I liken it to that. Um, who else, man? Dante, his two big threes, I already talked about that. And Dante will probably shoot better at home next game. And they'll have a chance to close it out, which I think they should. Do everything to close it out at home and not have to come back to Philly. Um, and Jalen Brunson, man, that's just obvious, right? I need to say anything else about him and his performance at this point? I mean, we saw what happened. You know, he's been the best Knick since Patrick Ewing. He's been better than Melo for them. I want to put that out there. I saw some people in the comment section comparing Melo's Knick career with Brunson's. Brunson You talking Patrick Ewing with him, and that's who you talking with him. At this point. I'm talking about since that point. Now, obviously, you got Clyde Walt Frazier and those guys, that won. Willis Reed, you got some of those guys too. But I'm talking about, since Patrick Ewing, is Patrick Ewing, then it's Jalen Brunson, is the most important Knicks to come through. And I like Julius Randle too, man. I wish he was in this series because I feel like some of that physicality and some of the stuff with the pushing around, falling down on legs and stuff. I think Randle's toughness would be very much welcome, to combat Embiid's because Jew wouldn't put up with that. Um, yeah, man. And so I just wanted to talk about that. Oh, let me get Stephen A. Smith, fake Knicks fan, was begging for Donovan Mitchell and was disappointed that Jalen Brunson was all they got in free agency and people thought he was overpaid. I said Jalen Brunson day one, that was a bargain. You can't look at what he's doing on the team with Luca when he was able to get the ball as a point guard and kind of dictate things. You were able to see what he was capable of. So I don't want to hear nothing from him celebrating this win. Anybody that could see Jalen Brunson knew that he was capable of being a big time star. Now he's probably exceeded all of our expectations, but I did expect him to be a star in this role. I could continue on and on, but I want to hear from y'all in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.